Is the tweet accurate? Is the U.S. really preparing to hit non-military cultural targets in Iran, which would obviously possibly result in civilian threats and almost certainly violate a UN resolution that the U.S. voted for in 2017?
Jake, thanks for having me on this morning. President Trump has been resolute. We will continue to be. We will defend America. The strikes we took over this past week, including killing the terrorist Soleimani, we will continue to take if we need to. If we need to defend American interests, we will do so. What President Trump said last night is consistent with what we have said all along. Iranian proxy forces in Iraq have thought that they could act with impunity, and that if they acted, we wouldn't take strikes against Iran proper. We've made clear 4 months to the Iranian regime that wouldn't be the case, that we were going to hold responsible the actors, the leaders who took these actions and who orchestrated these actions. President Trump's tweet last night made clear we will continue to do that, and the American people should know we will always defend them, and we'll do so in a way that is consistent with the international rule of law and the American Constitution. We've done it before. We will do it again.
Well, you're saying two different things there, sir, with all due respect, because President Trump's threat on Iranian cultural centers or centers of interest to the Iranian culture would not be in accordance with international law. So which is it?
Jake, they're not two different things. I've been with President Trump through the entire strategic planning process related to our entire campaign, diplomatic, economic, and military. We've built out an enormous coalition to push back against the Islamic Republic of Iran and its kleptocratic regime. The American people should know that we will not waver. We will be bold in protecting American interests, and we'll do so in a way that's consistent with the rule of law. We've always done that, Jake, and President Trump's tweet doesn't deviate from that one iota.
So cultural centers are theoretically fair targets in your view?
Jake, we're going to do the things that are right and the things that are consistent with American law.
Here's the background. On Saturday, Trump took to Twitter writing, "Iran is talking very boldly about targeting certain USA assets as revenge for our ridding the world of their terrorist leader who had just killed an American and badly wounded many others, not to mention all of the people he had killed over his lifetime. Let this serve as a warning that if Iran strikes any Americans or American assets, we have targeted 52 Iranian sites representing the 52 American hostages taken by Iran many years ago, some at a very high level and important to Iran and the Iranian culture, and those targets and Iran itself will be hit very fast and very hard. The USA wants no more threats." Now, aside from the immediate gaslighting by the Trump administration, wherein people like Mike Pompeo basically tell you that you didn't actually read what you just read, the simple fact is that the President of the United States took to Twitter and promised to commit war crimes. The Geneva Convention and the Department of Defense considers making clearly recognized historic monuments, works of art, or places of worship which constitute the cultural or spiritual heritage of peoples the object of attack a war crime. And of course, Pompeo pretends over and over that Trump's statement is in total accordance with the law, even though it is unequivocally illegal. And he continues to talk in circles, saying in response to Jake Tapper's question about war crimes that Trump is in the clear because the administration has built out a coalition before spouting platitudes about never wavering. And when asked about it a final time, Pompeo again claims that they will act in a manner consistent with American law, which again, committing war crimes is not a part. And what makes this all even worse is that while Pompeo was delivering the world's least convincing defense of Trump's promise to break international law, Trump was busy doing it again. He took to Twitter during the Sunday show circuit that Pompeo was on to escalate even further. He wrote, "These media posts will serve as notification to the United States Congress that should Iran strike any US person or target, the United States will quickly and fully strike back, and perhaps in a disproportionate manner. Such legal notice is not required, but it is given nonetheless." Yup, just like the founders envisioned. A tweet serving as legal notice for one man to unilaterally control our entire military. Now, this should go without saying, but apparently it doesn't. This tweet threatens to break several laws. One, no, a tweet does not serve as legal grounds to declare war. Under the War Powers Act, the US Congress is still required to consent to armed conflict. In fact, the president is obligated, quote, in every possible instance to consult with Congress before introducing the United States Armed Forces into hostilities or into situations where imminent involvement in hostilities is clearly indicated by the circumstances. Two, Trump claims out of thin air that, quote, such legal notice is not required. That's not true, as at the very least, Congress is to be notified within 48 hours in the event that American armed forces enter into any hostilities. And 3, Trump suggests that he'll respond in a, quote, disproportionate manner, which is a violation of international law. If this action is being taken in self-defense, which is the excuse that the administration is using, then it must be proportionate to the original action. I mean, leave it to Trump to tweet out threats of violating international law at the same time that his administration officials are on national TV defending him from other threats of violating international law. And yet, for the umpteenth time, this is a testament to the fact that Trump has no regard for the rule of law. Period. He broke it when his campaign cooperated with Russian officials looking to help him in 2016. He broke it when he extorted Ukraine for help in 2020. He broke it when he asked China for help, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison for help, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson for help. He thinks he's above the law. And because he's backed by a Republican Party too collectively spineless to dare stand up to him, a Republican Party content to contract Congress's war powers to him, a Republican Party that would rather shred the Constitution into pieces to protect Trump over our democracy, it's really no surprise that the president walks around with an air of invincibility. The simple fact is that the GOP is nothing more than a rubber stamp for a completely lawless president. And the only way to ensure that our government functions as it's supposed to is to make sure that all of them decisively lose their jobs later this year.